Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto 101 channel. My name is Brendan, and I hope all of you guys are having a great day no matter where you are from, because 2024 could bring the biggest bull run that the crypto market has ever seen. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Brendan, we've seen some pretty big crypto bull runs in the past. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin go from $1,000 to $20,000. We've then seen it go from $4,000 up to $69,000. And you're telling me that we could see one that blows this away after Bitcoin bottomed out around 15K. And the big kind of question this time around is, where can Bitcoin top out this time? Can it beat its previous all-time high of $69,000? Can it finally break the dreaded $100,000 price prediction that people have been really waiting for since Bitcoin's inception? And I think that the inevitable answer here is yes. And there's a lot of evidence to kind of support that we could see one of the biggest bull runs that the crypto market has ever seen. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So as you can see from the top of my screen that I'm sharing, I got a lot of tabs open. There's a lot of information that I want to dive over. And so this includes both like the technicals and the fundamentals. So we're going to be looking at the charts. We're going to be looking at the news. We're going to be looking at everything that is coming up over the course of the next year. And dare I say it, as great as I think 2024 is going to be, 2025, and I know that this is a while out. We're not even in 2024 yet. 2025 could arguably even better than what we're going to see in 2024. And I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year for the crypto market. So I don't want to kind of like beat around the bush. I want to go ahead and just dive right on in here. So that being said, all that we ask here is that if you like the content that we make, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And let's go ahead and begin here with the technicals. So it's no secret, Bitcoin has been on an uptrend for a while now. If we really zoom out on this daily chart, we can see that ever since Bitcoin pivoted from that bottom that we talked about, right around the $15,000 level back in November of 2022, it has just been on a really nice methodical uptrend where it is turning previous resistance levels into newfound support levels. And it keeps doing this upon every move to the upside. Again, we saw around the low 30s being used as a resistance. Now it's being used as a support. We saw a big consolidation zone between 34,000 all the way up to 38,000. Now Bitcoin is bottoming out around the low 40,000s. And this pattern has kind of just continued for, a little over a year now. So not only is Bitcoin's technicals looking really, really strong as it is pushing to these higher prices, but also in the news, there is so much stuff going on. One of the big things that we saw is that Goldman Sachs is actually predicting that there could be up to 5 rate cuts by the Federal Reserve in 2024. Now, for a while now, we've been seeing rate hikes, which is the opposite of this. And it's generally not a great thing for the markets, especially the crypto markets in this scenario. And so we've been hiking and hiking and hiking. And now we're kind of at the point where rates could start getting cut again. And not just one rate hikes. I believe Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, was basically saying he is expecting at least 3. Goldman Sachs and a couple other analysts are saying the data suggests at least 5 or 6. So if we get anywhere from 3 to 6 rate cuts, it would arguably be a really bullish thing for the crypto markets and, even for most markets. We also see that BlackRock is meeting with the SEC, and so is NASDAQ, in regarding to these Bitcoin ETFs. Now, this has been a reoccurring theme. We've gone over a ton of topics like this, but BlackRock, I believe Fidelity, I think Grayscale, a bunch of these big players who are really serious about these Bitcoin ETFs, they are constantly meeting with the regulatory bodies, especially the SEC, to make sure that they are doing everything right. And the way that it looks right now is we are looking like we're going to get an ETF approval in early to mid-January. Now, we'll see if that plays out, but I think the data is like 95%. It has a 90 to 95% chance of approval by early to mid-January. And so a lot of the data is kind of saying, hey, this is what we're looking at. We're looking to have an early Bitcoin ETF approval in arguably less than a month now, because at the time of recording this video, it's December of 2023. So again, all these big players are saying, hey, we want these ETFs approved the first month of 2024. This could be a big thing. They're taking it really seriously. And we know that these are over $17 trillion in asset managers, which are trying to get into a rough, $1 trillion Bitcoin asset. Other things that we're seeing, Altcoins are popping off across the board. I mean, Solana search volume on Google has increased by 250% in the past 2 months. And again, I think that we are just at the first inning of this bull run. If we're doing 250% increase in search volume in the first inning, what's it going to be like in the third inning, the fifth inning, the sixth, the seventh, and so on. And so I think that the crypto market is just going to kind of continue to go up from here. And I also kind of want to use this as a point that sentiment is drastically changing, and sentiment is becoming so much more bullish. I kind of dare everyone, try to find the bearish stuff in the news right now, and see if it has any kind of substance or value, because there's very little of it. Again, the crypto markets are looking primed, and let's move on. This is another one. We talk about the interest rate hikes and what it could mean. But the also kind of cool point that this brought up is something that, as a team, we were just talking about over here, is that this is going to be an election year. And it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, left, right, up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. An election year, everyone wants to look good. And so generally speaking, they like to make the economy do well. Again, it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum it's on. Whoever's in office wants to look good during an election year. So they try to make the markets look better, better than they have been. And we're kind of coming off a little bit of a tough period, especially in the stock market, especially with like interest rate hikes and all this stuff. And a lot of the data is kind of pointing, hey, not only is this election year, but we're looking at rate cuts. We're looking at most of the stock market hitting new all-time highs with like NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P. And a lot of this could be a really good thing for the crypto markets, because a lot of people are a fan of cryptos now, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense. There's very few political candidates. Yes, there are a couple of them that are trying to go really hard after the crypto markets right now, but the large majority of them aren't, because they don't want to get on anyone's bad side, and they know that the crypto fan base is a really passionate one. So, why would they shoot themselves in the foot? And anyway, all this stuff is kind of pointing that, hey, it's an election year. We're looking at rate hikes. We're looking at Bitcoin ETFs. We're looking at search volume increasing. And the next thing is that the entire crypto market is moving upwards as well. We see Solana, Avalanche, all these other cryptos are soaring. I mean, even Bitcoin is back up to almost its yearly high of their $43,500 right here. So the whole crypto markets are continuing to move upwards, not just Bitcoin, a plethora of altcoins as well. In fact, if we go back to TradingView, you can see on the right-hand side of my screen, I got a bunch of numbers. Just to read off a few of these, Immutable X is up 14%. We have Avalanche up 8%, Solana up 10%, Celestia is up another 10.5%, Gala's up 7%, and the list goes on. I mean, there's just so many of these things that are popping off. And even, Ethereum's doing really well and bouncing from this area. And the final thing that I have is the one that we are all so familiar with. The Bitcoin halving is not too far away either. In fact, we are looking at having the halving around the early to mid part of November. So right now it's saying around April 11th. And as time goes on, this will get more and more accurate. But it's about 112 days away, which really isn't that far. We're just about 4 months away from the Bitcoin halving, which is, as most of us who have been around in the space for a while, this has been a pillar of crypto bull runs. So I want to circle us back to the original topic and answer that question of, can we see the biggest bull run that the crypto markets have ever seen in 2024? And in short, I think that the answer here is yes. We have all of these different factors kind of creating the perfect storm for the crypto markets. But the other thing that I kind of want to say is that 2025 could be a really, really good year as well. Because if you go back and you look at the data about how the crypto markets have performed, a little bit after the Bitcoin halving has been completed, you'll kind of notice that that has been one of the best performing times for the crypto markets as well. Which is why I say, again, we really are what I believe to be in the first inning of this thing. I think that we are still in the very early stages, and as great as the crypto market has been doing, as great as the rally has been from 15K up to 45K, and with Ethereum going from, what was it, $800 up to almost $2,400, as great as all of this has been, it still looks like we're in the early stages. And again, we're talking about trillions of dollars in asset managers. We're talking about the halving. We're talking about an election year. We're talking about rate cuts. We're talking about search volume increasing. We're talking about supply decreasing while demand is increasing. There's so many different factors to look at here. And I'll tell you what, I, for one, am really, really excited, and I think we could see one of the greatest rallies, not even just in the crypto markets. I think that we are priming ourselves up to see one of the greatest rallies that almost anyone has ever seen. Internet bubble, crypto rallies, crypto bull markets, you name it. This could be one for the record books. And so I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out, if you can't tell. But with that being said, everyone, thank you all for watching. If you want to get more plugged in, we have a bunch of links in the description down below. You can check out Crypto Revolution, which is a book that we wrote. You can check out Altcoin Alert. You can check out Crypt Nation, which is two of our communities that are focused heavily around being involved in the crypto space. And of course, if you like the content that we make and you just want to stick around here on the YouTube, then you can consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And we pump out multiple videos every single week for all of you to watch. So once again, thank you all for watching, and we will see all of you in the next video.